Thanks, Donna. The League of Women Voters of the United States just announced its first position on immigration. As a grassroots organization, local leagues in all 50 states study the issue with resources provided by the National League and those that they found in their state and localities. The resources provided by the LWVUS can be found on our website. More information can be found in daily newspapers, magazines, and online. Once local leagues determine the points on which they have consensus based on questions that were provided by the National Committee, they sent the consensus to that committee. Some of the facts that informed the Marin League's consensus include: the government doesn't collect statistics on unauthorized immigrants. There are only educated guesses, approximately 12 to 14 million unauthorized immigrants. Most immigrants come from south of the border. Large numbers also come from China, India, and the Philippines. At least half don't arrive unauthorized, but they stay on after their visas expire. The vast majority are working using false Social Security numbers. The federal government collects millions of dollars from these workers that the workers themselves will not benefit from. Unauthorized immigrants do not qualify for welfare or food stamps. While the federal government collects taxes, the expenses for education, health care, and social services for unauthorized immigrants are footed by the state and local governments, and these costs can be steep. In California, that amounts to at least $1,000 per capita. All the yearly H-1B visas for skilled workers, 65,000 of them are gone on the first day they are available.
It's amazing.
And these are for usually jobs in technology. Unskilled workers face even more daunting odds of legally immigrating. Only 5,000 visas are available each year. There's little evidence of unauthorized or legal immigrants taking away jobs from citizens. Here in California, as well as in other states, agricultural jobs go begging even if they pay $15 an hour, and crops and produce don't get harvested without immigrants to do that hard labor. Indeed, as consumers and residents of a city or town, unauthorized immigrants add to the local economy. Because of the new fences and technological devices on the border, it isn't easy for laborers to come and go on a seasonal basis. So they bring their families here and settle down. The Immigration Service is understaffed, and there's a tremendous backlog of paperwork for almost all categories of immigrants, with months, if not years of delay. League members came to broad agreement on the values they hold regarding immigration, and a national consensus was formed. And from this consensus came a position that the League will use for years to come to affect national policy. It's largely because of such diligence in coming to our positions that the League of Women Voters is respected as a credible and objective voice in American politics. The Marin League's consensus closely matched the national position, so we can draw the conclusion that no matter where they live, leaguers in all states did their homework and came to similar conclusions. Here are some of the major parts of our national position. The League of Women Voters believes the immigration policy should promote reunification of immediate families, meet the economic, business, and employment needs of the United States, and be responsive to those facing political persecution or humanitarian crises. Provision should also be made for qualified persons to enter the U.S. on student visas, and all persons should receive fair treatment under the law. The League supports federal immigration law that provides an efficient, expeditious system with minimal or no backlogs for legal entry of immigrants into the United States. To complement these goals, the League supports federal policies to improve the economies, education, job opportunities, and living conditions in nations with large immigrating populations. What about the administration and enforcement? The League supports due process for all persons, including the right to a fair hearing, right to counsel, right of appeal, and right to humane treatment. The League supports improved technology to facilitate employer verification of employee status and verification documents such as status cards and work permits with secure identifiers. Once those are in place, the League supports significant fines and penalties for employers who hire unauthorized immigrants. The League supports improved technology for sharing information among federal agencies, more effective tracking of individuals who enter the United States, and increased personnel at borders. And the League also supports programs allowing foreign workers to enter and leave the United States to meet seasonal or sporadic labor needs.
How is the League going to use this position? What will they be doing?
When legislation is proposed in Congress, the League will advocate for provisions that are consistent with our national position, as I just stated it, or advocate against those that are not. Since states are proposing immigration legislation in the absence of federal action, it might be possible for state leagues to use the provision in a similar way, but we don't know that yet.
Well, then, but I don't understand. What about the millions of unauthorized immigrants who are here now?
Right.
Well, in transition to a reformed system, the League supports provisions for unauthorized immigrants already in the country to gain legal status. For example, they should pay taxes, learn English, study civics, and fulfill other provisions of citizenship. The League does not support deporting unauthorized immigrants who have no history of criminal activity. Members of our League deplored the March raids in San Rafael, where immigration officials stormed the canal area at 5 in the morning on 2 consecutive days, using warrants for people who had been ordered to be deported to gain entry to houses and take away anyone they thought might not be a legal resident. More than 30 people were taken away to deportation centers, some hauled off in front of their children with little regard for the care of the children and families left behind.
And that's something we absolutely don't support. Marcia, thank you so much.